Hi, we're going to do a great lengthening stretch for the whole body. Then we're going to do a couple of leg stretches and then some shoulder work. So we're going to start with the whole body stretch. So you can have your feet together or together-ish. We're going to take your right arm up to the ceiling and then take the left hand and grab the right wrist. The palm of the hand turns inwards on the right. Reach this arm nice and long, and as you pull this arm up towards the ceiling using your left hand, really feel like we're creating length from the hips all the way up through the side of the body. And then just keep on going. I'm going to take a little side bend. So just try and keep it completely sideways, so you're making a bit of a bow shape through the side of the body here. But keep all the time that you're doing this, really feel like you're lengthening at the same time. So we're just going to hold it there and take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, use your core, so draw the belly button into the spine to lengthen back up. And we'll do the other side. So arm comes up on the left, palm of the hand faces inwards to the midline. Take the right hand onto the left wrist. Pull this arm up like you're just trying to gently bring it out of its socket. Reach up and then imagine you're going up and over. So keep the length, going up and over, again sort of making that bow shape from the side of the body. Look ahead of you as you're doing this. And then breath in. As you breathe out, again engage the core, so draw the belly button to the spine to bring you back up. Bring your arms down. Okay, so that just starts to really lengthen all of the tissue from the feet all the way up through the body. Next up, we're going to go to the legs. So we're going to do a quad stretch. So I've got the chair here so that I don't have to worry about balance, but you can do it freestanding if you want to. So really be careful with knees. If you've had a knee replacement, it's unlikely, or it's going to probably be uncomfortable to do that kind of stretch. So what I'm going to ask you to do instead is hang fire and do the neck stretch that we're going to do instead. If you're okay to, grab one foot with the hand on the same side and bring the foot up towards the glute or the butt. And then what we want to do here, as much as possible, is stand nice and tall and have the front of the body as flat as possible, so we're not leaning forward. That's kind of what I mean by that. And then you bring this knee backwards until you feel a stretch down the front of the thigh muscle here. And it can be anywhere from the knee up to the front of the top of the thigh. Knees as close together as they can be, so about hip bone distance. And we're just going to hold it there for a few more moments. If you feel any sort of stabbing sensation in your knee, would you bring it down or just ease off, whichever is best for you. And then we're going to hold this slightly differently. So stay there, and then as you're holding the leg now, what I'd like you to do is press the foot into the hand. So put some energy into it and press the foot into the hand, and at the same time resist with the hand back into the foot. So you've got this kind of push-pull thing going on, and you should feel a contraction in that thigh muscle at the front. So hold it there, and we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. So release the pressure. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, see if you can bring that foot a little bit closer in. And we're going to hold that there for another 8 or so breaths. If you're going to do this at home, you can hold for another 15 breaths, or kind of a minute is good. So I'm just going to hold it there for a few more moments. Again, standing as tall as you can, and just seeing if that thigh muscle will give you a little bit more. Okay, so really great stretch if you've been out for a run or a bike ride, anything active, even a long hike, or if your knees feel tight. Very often when the thigh muscles are tight, they will hold the knees tight as well. So it's worth a try. Okay, we'll let that go. So give that leg a shake out, and then we're going to do the other side. I'm just going to flip my chair around. So grab the foot with the hand, bring the knee in so it's fairly close to the other, and then bring the knee back so the front of the body is as flat as you can be. And then find that stretch in the front of the thigh, and then hold it, just hold it there. We'll do the contract release in a moment. So just hold it there, stand nice and tall, and just breathing normally. And then we'll do the contract and release. So you push your foot into the hand, and the hand resists against the foot as though you're trying to push the hand back in towards the foot. So hold that contraction for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, take the pressure off, take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, see if you can just bring that foot in a little closer. So don't worry if your legs are tight and your foot is somewhere out here, it's absolutely fine. I do these quite a lot, so my leg muscles are fairly lengthened. So I'm just going to hold for a few more breaths here. So again, if you're at home doing this, you'd hold for a good 15 breaths or so. And then let that go. So again, give that leg a shake out. So that's the quad muscles. So we have done those before in this series, but that's just slightly different, doing the contract and release work on it. And now we're going to do the hip flexors, which are a little higher. So they're in here. So right in the front of the top of the leg and into the hip, and they fix into the lower spine. If you imagine your lower spine is in here somewhere, okay. And when these are tight, when these muscles are tight, they hold the lower back tight as well. So it's important, really important to release these. These get tight if we sit, if we drive, or if we do a lot of cycling or running. So they get contracted actively or not. So either way, they need lengthening. Okay, hip flexors. Use your chair for this one, or a desk or anything, or a wall even. Okay, so whatever is good. So we will take one leg back. So the front leg is bent and the knee is above the ankle. The back leg, my heel is lifted on my back leg and the back leg is straight. I'm going to put some pressure into my hands on the chair. With the back leg, I want you to feel like you're pushing off the ball of the foot. So you put some energy into there, into the toes and the ball of the foot. And at the same time, I want you to thrust this hip forward. So you just kind of thrust that hip forward and squeeze the glute as well on this side. And as you do that, you should feel a stretch in here. So hold it there. So plenty of energy pushing into the floor through the toes and the ball of the foot. Hold it there, and we're going to breathe. We're not doing a contract and release on this one, we're just going to hold. Keep squeezing the butt on this side as much as you can. Hold it there. So again, you can hold this for 15 breaths if you want to. Or just take one more breath in, and then as you breathe out, release that. So lean forward so we don't use that leg too much now that we've lengthened it. Just give it a shake out, and we'll do the other side. So take the leg back. The heel is lifted off the floor on the back foot, and the front leg, the knee is just above the front of the ankle. So use your chair to lean on, and then we're going to press into the toes and the ball of the foot. So you're pressing down into the floor, but at the same time you're lifting the heel. And then you're going to kind of think that you're thrusting this hip forward. But there's a little battle going on because you're pressing back into the heel and you're kind of thrusting forward through the front hip. So that should encourage that release into the hip flexor. So we'll hold it there and breathe nice and deeply. So again, the glute is squeezed on this back leg as well, if you can. There's a lot going on. And we'll take 2 more breaths in and out. And let that go. Okay, so again, lean forward and give that leg a shake out. Okay, we're going to do the shoulders next. I'm going to do this sitting on the chair. I'm going to do it sideways so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So you're going to have your feet flat on the floor, and the feet want to be directly beneath your knees. So a bit of a right angle going on with the legs. You're going to take the hands on the sacrum. So the sacrum is at the top of the bottom, right in the center, and at the very base of your spine. It's a flat bit of bone. So if you, as a rough guide, that's fine there. Hands behind you, facing backwards, and you can layer the hands on top of each other, or if you've got long arms, you can cross them a little bit. But essentially, we want the elbows to be able to do that kind of movement, okay, like a little chicken. So the palms of the hands are facing backwards and they're pressing in to that sacrum, okay? So the palms, the backs of the hands are pressing into the sacrum. Your back is straight, not curved, okay? So let the ribs come down at the front. So, hands pressing into the sacrum. Shoulders are drawn down, neck nice and long. From here, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. So you'll just feel the shoulders roll back a little bit, probably as you do that. So squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other and press the hands into the sacrum. And as you're pressing your hands into the sacrum and imagining that you're squeezing your shoulder blades towards each other, would you also bring the elbows forward a little? You can just see my elbows just coming forwards a little there, and that feels very strong to me around the front of the shoulder and the top of the arm. So make sure that feels okay. Just do 5 out of 10 effort. So ease back if it's too much. So I'm going to hold it there for about 5 seconds now. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. So bring the arms down, give the shoulders a roll. We're going to do that one more time, just with a neck rotation this time. So palms of the hands face backwards, shoulders are down, hands resting on the sacrum. If you've got, as I said, if you've got long arms, then cross the arms a little lower, okay? But just make sure you've got that movement of the elbows, okay? Sit nice and tall. Okay, shoulders are down. You're going to press the hands onto the sacrum, and then at the same time squeeze between the shoulder blades, so like sliding doors. Imagine your shoulder blades are like sliding doors trying to close towards one another. And then you've got all of that going. Would you also try and just bring the elbows forward a touch? So we're going to hold it there once you've got that contraction. It's quite strong. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then just hold it there and turn your head to the right. So keep a little bit of pressure into those hands. And then turn your head to the left. And then come back to center and release all of that and let those arms go. And they will be very glad for that to happen, I'm sure. Just bring the arms up and take them out and down. That might be enough for you. I'm just going to do one more movement on the floor for the shoulders and for the legs, the whole thing really, and for the core. You don't have to do it. It's called leg pull in my book, but some people call it plank. Okay, so we come to all fours. This is kind of strengthening work for the shoulders and the arms, and it's bone loading for the wrists and the bones. So come to all fours. Spread the fingers nice and wide, including the thumbs, and bring your shoulders right above your wrists and the hips right above your knees, the feet and the knees at hip bone distance apart. And from here, we're going to take one leg back and tuck the toes under. So you take that leg back as far as it will go and tuck the toes. Make sure the shoulders are still in the same position above your wrists. And then we'll take the other leg back too. And then from here, we want the hips to be roughly the same height as the shoulders. And the neck is long, looking slightly forwards of your fingers. Kind of drop your heels as though you're pushing back into the heels, but try not to let your hips rise when you do that. And then keep the belly button lifting up towards the spine. And we're going to hold it for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bring your knees down, and you can come back into a rest position for a moment. And then slowly restack your spine. You can do another one of those if you want to. I'm not going to, but you can do another one of those, and you can just increase the hold time as you do it, but posturally make sure everything's in position, the shoulders are drawn down, the hands are nice and wide. So that's your shoulder sequence for today, and your leg sequence too. Thank you very much.